Welcome in, watchers and listeners, to Sport Talk with Dwat. I'm Dwat, and I got Casper on the show. If you would please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
All right, welcome into Sport Talk. We'll do episode number 48. I'm here with Casper. We're going to talk about the NFL draft, Georgia Tech, Tennessee, some Titan talk there, a little bit of that, some Braves, and much more. He's back for some more. Let's bring him on in. What's going on, Casper?
I'm about to fall asleep. That's what's up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. About to fall asleep today. It's been a good weekend, long weekend, but I'm here. I'm here. One piece.
Oh yeah, it's a nice Monday night here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Nice sunny day. I got some mowing done, and now we're on the show. So we're gonna talk a little about the weekend. I'll kind of go first here. Let's see here. Friday, went over to my parents' house, watched some Georgia Tech baseball. Saw their new car. So they had to get a new car over the last couple of days. So we got to see that. Saturday, got some new fishing reels. Went out to Chester Frost, did some fishing. I think I can finally say this here, Casper. I've caught my brim for the year. I think I met my quota. So I got two brim. I feel like it's time to move on to the bigger fish. And so that's my plan there. So I got a brim caught, and then I caught a catfish. And then I caught my first bass of the year. So it was pretty sweet to catch the bass. It was a little bit on the small side, but it don't matter to me. And it was a great catch there. And then the catfish, I'm not a big catfish guy. I'm sure there's people out there that are tuned in that love catfishing. And they bite the hook and they just don't, it's just they got thick gums and they don't really let go. And it's like it's just trying to get that thing out of there is tough. So it probably took me 15 minutes, it felt like, to get the hook out of the catfish. But and then while I was at Walmart getting my reels, I got a text there from Casper about going to Talladega Sunday. So, and for me, here's the thing. If I get a text from somebody about going to race, unless I'm out of town or I'm deadly sick, my answer is going to be yes. And anyway, so got this text here from Casper about the ticket prices. And I'm like, hey, man, just get them. It's good with me. And I got some mowing money and I got some other money built up. So let's go. And so that's kind of how that came about. So Casper and I went down to Talladega Super Speedway Sunday afternoon. So, but first, there, Casper. So weekend wise, so that was mine. So, so, uh, yeah. So on yours, go to on that, Casper.
Yeah, we had a good weekend. We got to go out Friday night. I went and put on a tuxedo
Mm-hmm.
with a bow tie. I went from a tuxedo and a bow tie to Talladega, baby. That's about as big of a swing as it can get. So, but no, we had a good weekend. Had a good night out Friday with the wife. Got to hang out with some family on Saturday, and Saturday morning, I looked at the weather for Talladega, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to do it." And the wife was like, "I mean, you might as well." And I was like, "Don't tell me twice." So we went, did it. It was a good time. I did get to go to the Smokies last week on Tuesday before the weekend. I know that's not weekend. I got me this nice show and tell beer jar. This is lemonade in here, but that's what they sell in it. I don't know, cheaper if you get it that way, but they're real nice. Don't dishwash them though; they'll melt. But it's had a good time. Watch the Lookouts beat the snot out of Smokies. I'm sure we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, it was a good week. And then we went to Talladega, and I'll let you take it from there. You're the
Oh
you're the
yeah.
Talladega expert.
Oh yeah. So I went down there and I got me a new shirt. I got me a Bass Pro Shops Chase Briscoe shirt, so I could add that to my fishing line there of kind of what I wear out there. And yeah, so I went down to Talladega. As a fan's point of view, I'd say it's probably one of my top tracks I enjoy going to. Um, with this like getting down there and the parking and the fan experience with some of the shopping across the street there, and then all the shopping there on site there is I feel like it's pretty top notch. There's a couple of tracks around that I like a lot going to for the experience with a Bristol and whatnot. But I say Talladega is probably the best. But it was smooth getting down there and getting home seemed to be pretty smooth. And just as a fan, I probably give that place like a close to a 10. I probably give like probably close to a 10, I guess. Just the experience. So I got my new hat as well. So that's something I got there for those watching. That's my new hat. So but yeah, it was great to get down there, and yeah, that's kind of what I got on that. We'll kind of dig into that here in a little bit. But race wise, there, Casper, I thought it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it could have been that much better. Shout out to the hometown boy Chad Fincham leading about I
Yeah.
don't know 5 or 10 laps up there. That was crazy. The Knoxville's finest out there. So, but yeah, it was a fun race. Little fuel mileage-ish, but man, anytime you go down there to Talladega, it's I feel like I say it about everywhere I go, and I guess it's because it's true. But there's just nothing like Talladega. Like it and Bristol are two completely different racetracks. I've been to Indy too, and they're all different. And Talladega, there's just something about the people down there. They get so into it, it doesn't matter what's going on, and that's what makes it different, I think. And just there's a lot of energy in the crowd, and that makes it fun. So I always love going.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a lot of it. All that was going on I'm sure with all the energy and whatnot. So it's cool. Cool experience, and we went a lot back, probably 10, 15 years ago, and now we've gone quite a few there in the last couple of years. So it's always cool to get down there. But that probably about wraps it up for now. We'll kind of touch back on some of the NASCAR with the winter talk and kind of what all he did there post race for his celebration and whatnot. We'll kind of dig into some of that. But I've got a question for you, Casper. So you got this new shirt, and you
Oh
decided to
God.
cut the sleeves off. So tell us a little backstory, real quick, on the backstory of cutting the sleeves off.
I don't know. I mean, we got down there. I was feeling like it was going to be a good day. I bet on my driver to win the race before I even left Tennessee. 'Cause you can't bet in Alabama, so I went ahead and lay a little cash on the driver there, and thought I was going to buy a shirt and a hat because JP didn't go with us because he's
Yeah.
lazy, and I knew that this guy was going to win if he wasn't there, so I just went ahead and went all out. Got the shirt, took out the plastic, ripped the sleeves off, sunburn just a little bit. In case anybody's curious, just a little bit of sunburn, but we made it through work today. So I don't know. I don't know. Just something different. Their shorts are kind of boring. There's nothing on the back of it. Kind of pissed me off. So it's like I'll rip the sleeves off mine. That'll be cooler than everybody else. But that's when I was in high school. That's what everybody did. And I was looking around. There's nobody wearing sleeveless shirts around there. Like nobody. What's the deal?
Yeah, they don't sell them. I thought they'd sell them, but I didn't see any. So if you want tank tops, then you just got to cut them off your own self. So hey, that's what you did there, Casper. Hey, looks good to me. So
Yeah, if you want to be a Hocevar fan, you got to rip the sleeves off.
yeah,
Heard it here
yeah,
first.
you got to. There you go. You heard it here first. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe if you would on the YouTube, and you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. That being said, we're going to jump on into some news of the week. The Boston Red Sox have fired Alex Cora and all the other staff on the team, pitching coaches, first base coach. I mean, you name it, they wiped the house out. They cleaned house. And I guess you call it a bandwagon Red Sox fan. I just like the history of the team and the stadium and all they got up there in Boston. And when I saw it, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit there, Casper. They off to a very slow start, and in these pro sports, you got to win. You better win. You better win quick. So they've got a good history in the past of winning, and they have a high level up there that they expect to meet. And at this point, you don't really see them wipe out the whole staff like that. So I'm not sure who they'll want to have being the coach now of that team. But at this point, it's gonna be tough on the fan base and the players and all involved, just because um, what what to play for now with what's going on. So we'll see what they do with the trades here in the next couple of weeks and months. So when I saw that, I was gonna pass along to the show that that's quite it's quite the big deal. So what are your thoughts on that, there, Casper?
Well, I was reading something today about how they ran them all out of the hotel on a bus. I don't know if you saw that. It might have had a questionable ad on the side of it or something, but like in a van. But I mean, I don't know. They cleaned house. They did what they had to do. And I think they've won 2 games since then, if I'm not mistaken. So um, I don't know. Their season's not done yet. I mean, yeah, it's early. Like they
Yeah.
still got 11 wins. It's not like they got no wins. I mean, they're under 500. Obviously, if they're 11-17. You can still turn it around, but you better get on it if you're going to do that. I don't know exactly what their schedule's been like. I don't exactly keep up with the Red Sox. I am not a bandwagon Red Sox fan. I hate the
Mm.
Red Sox. I do like their stadium though. Got mad respect for the
Yeah.
stadium and all that and what they are, but I've never really liked them. I don't know. Plus, my brother-in-law likes them, so definitely
Yeah.
not pulling for him in that case. I had his kid out here on Saturday. We were talking about how bad they were and how great the Braves are, actually. So trying to teach that kid right.
I guess there was some kind of back history from last year. Maybe they didn't have the best of last year's season must not have gone well, and they must have been on the hot seat. And hate to see it, but somebody's got to go. So we'll see how all that changes up there with all the other staff members there. We'll see who's left, and but still early, kind of like you said. So there's still plenty of time. They can still bounce back. So we'll have to see about that one. All right, we will shift into some Atlanta Braves baseball. They are leading the East by 6.5 games over Miami. They had another hot week. We're going to cover all this right here on Sport Talk. I love to see it. They are 20-9 now, so that's as a fan that's a great record. It's very impressive, and they're off tonight, and they will take on the Tigers this weekend. So, but first we will bounce back into the Braves versus the Nationals. That was Monday through Thursday. The Nationals are a pretty, okay team there in the East. So I was curious just as a fan as I watch these games and get tuned in, how we would look. But I'll take this win on Monday 9-4, 8 hits. So anytime you get those 9 runs like that, you got to find a way to win. That's what happened there. Tuesday, I picked the Braves to win in my picks, and that did not happen. We got whooped 11-4. You can't win them all. I get it. And if you're gonna have an off night, just go ahead and get it out of the way kind of early. But I like the 11 to they got beat by 11-4, but at least put in a little bit of effort there. Got behind early. I watched this game. Lopez was pitching, I believe, and he got off to a slow start. Got the bases loaded there early, and they had to yank him out there, and just you can't get behind, and that's what happened there. So not a good start. So we're gonna bounce back onto Wednesday. 4 home runs early, man. They were hitting the ball great there early on, getting some home runs. That's what I like to see as a fan. If you can get the home runs, that's what you want, and to get the win 8-6. I got a little close there towards the end, but to win the series is great. We just keep winning these series, and we're the only team that's won every series this year. So we're going to keep that streak alive, keep it going. I think we got a good chance this week to keep that streak alive. So that series there. So and then Thursday we get to win 7-2. So that was another day game. So that was a little something different there for the players. It's kind of a quick turnaround to play Wednesday night and then play that Thursday day game. So we get 3 of 4. We win the series there, Casper. So what are your thoughts on that series there?
Another good series. Get another series win, and Nationals are a decent team. We made them look like they weren't, so we'll take that. Braves are playing really good baseball right now. Got the most runs, like the third least runs, I believe. Not the highest run differential. The Dodgers got that because they just keep absolutely crushing the ball too, and they're not letting anybody score. So, as far as the Lopez thing goes, I think I saw something pop across my phone today. They're moving him to the bullpen. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it said. Just because he had some mechanics issues they want him to work out. So we'll see what happens there. Another solid week, man. 20-9, first team to 20 wins. Taking a day off, and I guess the Dodgers might get their 20 today, but I hope not. I mean that's honestly the hope. But they're playing the Marlins, so they probably will. And we'll just keep winning and see what happens. We got this series with Detroit; they're leading their division, so need to get that done and win these home series for sure. And hey, if we win every series, we don't got nothing to worry about. I mean, that's just the truth of it. So, we'll see what happens here, but I'm looking forward to it, and everything's looking good. And hope to keep it going in that direction. Got a big road trip coming up after this Detroit series, so gonna have to make it count. I don't know if you've looked ahead that far, but that coming in, you're gonna go on the road trip to the Rockies, to Seattle, and then finish up at the Dodgers. So you got a big lead right now, but you gotta keep playing and battle hard while you're out there for sure.
Yeah, we got to watch those teams out west there. It's tough teams out there, and so I'll be curious, how that kind of shakes out there. But so then Friday night was the Apple TV special. I don't have Apple TV. Casper doesn't have it. I don't like it. It's just a way to get people to watch these games and spend some money. So that was Friday night. My sister and them were there. Go ahead.
They did wear red uniforms. At least we got that. Thank the Lord.
Shout out to my sister. They were there. Amy and I were there at the game for Ryan's birthday little gift. So that was pretty cool to see that picture of their seats there in the outfield. So then Friday night was a win for the Braves. They got to win 5-3, 10 hits there for the Braves. So they're hitting the ball again good there. So it's good to get the home win in front of the home crowd there. So that was good to see. Saturday the Phillies get on top there and get the win 8-5 in 10 innings. Kept it close there till the end, and it probably got away from there in the 10th. But you just got to work on some small things here and there, and you kept it close till the end. So it's part of it there on that. You can't win them all, but all in all, if you can win the series like we did, then as a fan, that's what I like to see. And then Sunday we get the win 6-2. I didn't get to see that game. I was a little bit busy there in Talladega, Alabama, but I was
A
trying
little
to
bit.
check into it a little bit there as I could on my phone. But we get 2-3. We beat them last weekend for a sweep. This weekend we get 2-3, so we got their number there, Casper, on that. So that's pretty good there for that. But yeah, I mean it's a good weekend there. I thought for that with the hits and whatnot on that.
Yeah, I mean, basically all I learned from that Philadelphia series is just throw those baby blue jerseys away, never wear them again, because apparently we lose when we wear them. So just throw them babies in the trash can.
Yes, please. I don't care for them, so they got to go. Then the Braves are off tonight, kind of like I said earlier. So they want to bounce back and play on Tuesday night as we're going to host the Tigers um, Tuesday through Thursday. I think that's going to be a very key series. The Tigers are a team that I don't know much about, so I'm going to kind of learn about them there Tuesday through Thursday, and you know, to get some more wins there at home would be nice, and to see this team really keep connecting well. Pitch well, hit well, get them on, get them in. That's kind of what I look for, and so looking forward to that. Then we head to the Rockies Friday through Sunday. So we got to start the road trip a little bit there, and so out of these games here, guys, can we win 5 to 6 games this week?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. No, I'd say if we get four, I'd be happy. I mean, is that fair? I think
Yeah.
just win both the series would be my key here. But I mean, yeah, I don't. The Rockies, for whatever reason, we struggle when we go out there, man. I don't know why. They're not a terrible team either, but I feel like we always have struggled over the last few years when we go out to Colorado for some reason. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, this Detroit series, I think you definitely got to get your two there, and we're going to drop a series somewhere. Like I said last week, it's going to happen sometime, somewhere. I feel like this road trip coming up is probably what's going to happen. I would rather it not be the Rockies because, when we go to LA, that's going to be tough. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna save that for LA.
yeah.
It can be tricky out there in Colorado with the air, and the ball might travel more and the elevation and whatnot. So maybe it's a cool place probably as a fan to see a game, and as a player you can probably hit some more home runs and whatnot. So hopefully we can scratch off the bad luck out there in Colorado and bounce back. And I'd like to see us win that series, and just win both the series against the Tigers and the Rockies would be pretty sweet on my end. And then let's really go see kind of what we're all about out there out west. That's what's going to come down to is get these wins and then kind of settle in and just kind of play smart, and then we'll kind of see where we're at on that. So, all right, we will move into some minor league baseball lookouts at the Smokies. Casper went on Tuesday night. So, how was the atmosphere up there at the Smokies?
Dead, nobody there. It was a Tuesday night, and Lookout took the lead in the first inning, and it was, that's just the truth of it. It was fun. For me, it's a good thing to do on a Tuesday night or early in the weeknight. Just kind of go out there and hang out, have a good time. Got plenty of seats available, and everybody should go. It's a nice park, good time to watch a game, and there's not a bad seat in there. But like I said, like I was telling you in the truck yesterday, you can sit pretty close and um, pretty decent for deal. So get on there and go on out and support the Smokies. I
Yeah.
know that with school being in, the weeknight games are a little bit lower for sure. But hey, listen, we got to support and get real, whether we win or not.
Yeah, I would last year to 2 games, and it's a very nice park up there. I guess it was a way to park down there. It sounds like, or you can ride the bus, which I rode the bus both times last time from the parking garage to the stadium. But as a local, you probably know some spots to get.
Yeah, I think if anybody's going to go, I think if you want to park by the stadium, you either have to go when there's not going to be anybody there. You better go early. But it's basically right there in the old city, right next to the stadium, under the bridge. Like there's a public lot, so not a big deal. It's $10 I think it's $5 to ride the bus. Is that right?
Yeah, $5. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a process, but if it's busy, then you're just not sure what to expect there. Uh,
Or my
here co-
garage door
here
back
co-
here.
co- All right, so then this week will be Tuesday through Sunday. You got the Barons at the Lookouts, and then you got the Smokies heading to a Trash Panda. So they're gonna head to the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and all those are Tuesday through Sunday. So if you're in the Chattanooga area, go check out the Lookouts, and if you're in Huntsville, go check out the Smokies and yeah, check this out for sure. All right, this is where I want to be. We got some NFL draft talk. Diago Pavia was not drafted in the 2026 NFL draft. He got a CFL deal there for Pavia. So, what is your big hot take on the quarterback from Vanderbilt?
He's going to be probably a CFL GOAT as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I didn't expect him to get drafted, so I was not surprised by that one little bit. But now it's beeping at us. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess how that works if you go undrafted. This is so bad. I'm sorry, people. I apologize. If you go undrafted, then I guess the CFL teams pick up your right. It's kind of like how it works with international baseball players or whatever. So I don't know. It's pretty cool, and I just didn't want him to go in that draft. Basically, I don't like the guy, so I hope he likes Canada. He likes being cold, and we'll see if he's tough from New Mexico, tough enough to go up there and do it Canada style. I don't know. I think he has a tryout day or whatever with I think I saw Minnesota. So we'll see what happens, but. He's too short. He's a punk.
Yeah.
He's like a little pit bull chihuahua.
Hey, I like it. Hey, I mean, it is what it is, and that's some facts about him. He is short, and I didn't see him, going to play in the league. I just didn't see that in him to be a QB out in the NFL. So, certain names like him, I was very curious if they'd get drafted or where they would go. So, the Titans drafted 8 players there in the draft. A little bit of drama, I guess you could say, in that first round pick. Cornell Tate, wide receiver from not all the fans seem to be loving the going after the offensive selection there for the whiteout. A couple of boos were being shouted out there and whatnot. So I don't. I'll have to study up on him, but I was curious if they would go offensive heavy or defensive heavy or kind of a bit of both. But it seemed like they went more on the offensive side of the ball. So I'll just be curious with that new coach and new staff. We'll see. It's kind of hard to tell in the draft, which is still early, and a lot can change, and they'll be adding players and trading players, cutting players. So a lot's going to take place over the next couple weeks and months. But that was kind of some of the draft there, and then the Falcons. For all my Falcons people out there, they got 6 players, and they did not have a first round pick with some of the trades they had planned, and they went heavy on the defense. So they went after the players for the defensive side of the ball. So we'll have to see how that looks. Some would say if you got your good defense, then that's how you win championship. But then the offense, sells tickets and can score your points. So it's a fine line, and I guess I'm more of a offensive guy. I feel like I want my hot shots on the offensive side, toss the ball around, score your points, and score more than the other team. That's my thought on some of the offense versus defense on that. But all in all, the draft was it's always packed with which that it gets moved around to each city each year. It seems like so. I like how they're always moving it, which is unique when it could just stay in the same place. So that's kind of a little something different they do, and the fans are passionate here in the NFL. That the ones that keep it with it and watch it. So that was pretty cool to see some of the pictures and the clips of the draft and kind of see who drops and if they go to have a bad pro day or combine and whatnot. If it can affect them, and then some guys do drop a while. Um, so we'll have to just kind of see. I have to check on some of the Titans websites and really see. But I'd give them maybe like a B or B plus for a grade there on their draft performance. And we'll just have to kind of see on that. You got anything else on that there, Casper?
I just want to know from you,
Yeah.
Road Race Road today, is Fernando Mendoza a bust, yes or no?
Uh, I say no. I know. No, I don't think he'll be a bust. I think he's gonna be a star in the NFL. I think he's got that. He's got that first pick, and I think he's a good, humble player, and I think he's gonna have to kind of learn a little bit there in the league compared to the college. But if he can just be smart with running and toss the ball around like I know he can, I believe in him, and the kid can he's good and get the wins. So I feel good about him, and that's a good question there. I like that. That I think it's going to be a good year coming up for him.
All right. Well, I think he's going to bust. I'll
There
just go
you
ahead and put mine on the record just for that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Other than that, the only other real draft news for me as a Tennessee fan, I was excited to see that Gerard McCoy didn't go to the fourth round because he's a loser that decided not to play because his NIL nonsense. I was glad for that. The Cornell Tate thing at Ohio State getting picked for the Titans fans. That's a good way to push away all the Vols fans. But also, like, man, you're getting somebody to throw to out there, and maybe that's what you need for I can't think of his name. So we'll see. He's a speed demon, so he's going to catch some balls for sure. And I don't know, the Titans need to be able to spread it out a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I hope they do good. New stadium, new logo. Like, we got to do something, right? So if this is their time now, if they want to get some attention, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with all that. And I do wish the Titans the best. So any other surprises you had, major ones or anything?
Georgia Tech had a first round pick, their first round draft. So that was cool to see. It's probably the first time in a while. So that was a shock for me. And then I like to always kind of see which teams chase after, like the linemen or whatnot. So that the first round pick, for Tech from the Texans is who is the team that went there. Tennessee had 5 players drafted there in the NFL draft, and Georgia Tech had 2 players drafted. So that was some stats there for y'all out there tuned in. So Tennessee, I like to see Tennessee get probably 5 to 8 players drafted would be pretty ideal. So getting 5's fine. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's pretty mid, I think, on that.
Yeah.
But I guess that will about wrap up the NFL draft, and we will shift it into some college baseball. Let's start with Georgia Tech. Let's just get on into this a little bit here, Casper. So it was Georgia Tech, Georgia at Truist. It was about 21,000 people on hand. They had to pack down there in the bottom section. Georgia, they got beat, and it sounded like that game's not that important to them. But I feel like if you lose and you're, that's probably what you're gonna say is if you get beat, you're just gonna say it's not really that important. I didn't know all these facts. So I talked to my dad about this on Friday night. Is they don't play any other team inside the state of Georgia, so they don't play the small schools. And we used to play them in a series, and we don't play them in a series anymore. So they got out of that, and they really don't want to play us at all, but they kind of just have to. And this game is played for the kids there in Georgia. So some people there's a lot of post game comments that Georgia don't like the kids, blah blah blah. So their coach has seems like had a lot to say post game, and we beat them. We beat them bad, and it really felt good just as a Tech fan to put it to them after getting beat there in football and basketball. But it was cool to see on that.
I got one more comment on that. First of all, yeah, I mean, that's a loser comment from Georgia to say it doesn't matter, and they should play every year, and they should play a series. They quit being a bunch of pansies. If you guys are gonna, play them in football every year, they can play you in baseball every year and deal with it. That's how I feel about that. That's stupid. Number 2, most important thing of this whole podcast we need to talk about is, last week I called you out on your favorite colors being black and red. I can't help but notice that Talladega hat is black and red and white, and you're wearing a Georgia Tech shirt, but you're wearing black and red on top because that's most important. So last time I heard people with the last name Watkins don't wear that. I saw it somewhere on a Spotify comment or something like that. So you might want to take that off and put on something else. You got a Georgia Tech hat back there if you want to swap. I won't tell anybody.
I do swap that out. Yeah, but I bought his hat like, it is black, red, and white. Oh man, yeah, that was a comment there on last week's show. So if you got any comments for the show, put them down. Just put them in the comments below if you want to, and we would love to hear from you. All right, so Georgia Tech plays Wake Forest this weekend, and we get the sweep again. So I love to see that. Keep it winning, keep it rolling. We just got a few more weeks left in the season before we go into the regionals and whatnot tournament. So I have a prediction here for you right here on the show here, Casper. I think well, my dad thinks it's going to be Georgia Tech, Tennessee, and two chumps. But my other thought would be to be Tech, and then Kentucky would be the competition there for the bigger team, and then two chumps. So do you have a thought on a team for that conference that that Tech might play for against?
I mean, no, I don't. I for your dad, I hope it's not Tennessee because that'd be the most Tennessee thing ever. Would be to be terrible and mediocre and up and down, and then go down there and somehow pull that off and beat number two in the country, and then turn around and lose in every game after that. So, I mean, I don't know. At least he wants to face them head on.
Yeah,
There's
he's ready.
there's a battle's coming, and I'd love to see that. Look, get us a little taste in the mouth before a football game, and go ahead and get a
Oh
little
yeah.
blood in the water. So, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Whoever it is, it'll be fun. Georgia Tech, sounds like they're good enough to go far, so we'll see what they can do. I mean, they're going to struggle against them white and blue Tar Heels, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that's all shakes out the next couple of weeks. Tennessee Volunteers baseball. We play Alabama this past weekend. We get two of three. So they played two on Saturday because of a rain. So they played double there on Saturday. Thursday was 12-8 Alabama. So anytime and don't go well on that first one, you don't know how it's going to go for the weekend. But to bounce back there Friday, play two is great. So we got the win 10-0 there. First game Friday and the second game Friday was 11-4 Vol. So we got the series win. And if you get a series win, you get a haircut for $9.99 at Great Clips. So I'm going to go get me a haircut Tuesday night, down to my Great Clips here in Chattanooga and get me a haircut for $10. So next week's show, if I don't got a hat on, I'm going to have a nice, clean looking haircut. So all y'all out there, go get you a haircut here in Chattanooga or Knoxville. Get you a cut. But yeah, so we got the series win over Alabama, which is a pretty decent team there, Casper. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are they'll go in there, make tournament, not do great, embarrass us. We'll be middle of the pack like we are in every other sport now. We used to be an everything school. Now we're a nothing school. It is what it is. I said what I said.
There we go. All right, we will move on to the NBA playoffs right quick. All these are a 7-game series. The Hawks were playing the Knicks. Game two was 107-106 the Hawks. So they bounced back after getting down 0-1 to tie it up to 1-1. Then game three, 109-108 the Hawks. So the Hawks were able to just edge out these Knicks. And I feel like their fan base was getting a little confident in themselves. They even had a towel that said game six. Somehow, they were going to win there in game six. It's a cool gimmick. I mean, as long as you can win in six, then it's cool. But if you lose in six, then it's not going to be a good look. So we'll have to kind of see how that goes. I saw a picture of that online. I was like, well, that's all good, just as long as you can take care of your business. And then game four there was 114-98 the Knicks. So I feel like the Knicks have got a little confidence built up. So we'll have to see how that looks. Game five is Tuesday night. It's at the Knicks. So it's in the Picks Planner, so I can't say much on there on my end. But you just want to see his team play confident. They can win. I just feel like they get behind some of these games. So as the NBA kind of like a fan, but just someone that keeps up with it there on the casual side of things, I'll tune in and I'll pull for them, and we'll have to see how that one goes. But here we go. All right, Casper, here we go. We're going to talk about a little bit of playoffs there for the hockey. The Monday night was the Senators at the Hurricanes. That was a overtime. So that was a 2 overtime, 3-2 win there for the Hurricanes. And then on Thursday night, 2-1 for the Hurricanes as well. So that was game three, 2-1 win. And then game four, 4-2 win for the Hurricanes. So the Hurricanes sweep the Senators. They knock them out. They're going to move on. So, Casper, what are your thoughts on getting that series win or sweep?
Hey, listen, the Canes are going for it, baby. I just like that 2 overtime, no shootout. That's what I'm talking about. Just keep playing and playing and playing and playing, and let's fight somebody. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Once they make it all the ways, I really start paying attention.
Yeah, it's still a little bit early right now, and I've been trying to tune in. They've been, each night there's either some
Yeah.
NBA or hockey on. So a little bit
Some of
always
their
something going on.
some of those hockey games are late, dog. Like I'm like some of the times like the Braves ends, I turn it back over because this is one thing about the Braves division. I want to talk. This is a good time to talk about this.
Uh,
It sucks because you can't flip channels because you got to be in the MLB app. It's like you can't just flip over for a second and watch something else. That's one thing I do not like about the Braves Vision app, and I wish it was a channel. Just for the record.
yeah, that's a good point there. Because once you log in, same for me. Once you log in, then you can't. You got to get all the way back out to get back to the YouTube TV or whichever, whichever you're going to use on that. But that's probably about all I have for the hockey so far. Kind of as it goes along, we'll talk a little bit more about both the NBA and the hockey. As we get through this first round, kind of get some of these teams out of here, and then we'll really size them up, and we'll talk about that next week on the show. All right. Well, that will put us right in here. So some NASCAR talk. We're going to talk about the Talladega race here from Sunday. So we'll just kind of start with got down there, got parked, went in. Yeah, see the intros. I feel like at that track there, Casper, I'll kind of give my thought first and I'll get yours. I feel like the intros are a little bit kind of quiet there, which I get it. It's a big place and it's more spread out than like Atlanta or Bristol. But I would have thought people around us would have gotten kind of rowdy, but I feel like everybody was pretty chill there at the start of that intros.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We were so far away from it. It's kind of weird. I felt like the intros were too long too. They were just kind of weird. Like I don't know. They're not doing the whole truck thing, which kind of is weird. Slows it down. I don't know. It is what it is on those driver intros. Man, nobody really cares. Everybody just wants to boo people. I mean, I booed Denny. I booed anybody that was on your shirt or close to your shirt. So, I did my job. But hey, it was. I was just glad that there was a nice full crowd. The sad
Yes.
thing is if they'd have put that crowd in Bristol, people would be talking about how Bristol is empty with that number of people. That's what I'd like to point out. So just remember that, all you people out there hating, just remember that. But yeah, it's a good crowd.
It was, I was looking around and yeah, it was definitely packed and so they had a change of the stages. So it was pretty unique to see as a fan. First off, let's just go over this part. I like the stage breaks and as a fan of being there or probably even on TV. It really gives you a chance to get up and get out and go to the bathroom or get some food, snacks, beer, whatever you want to get. It gives you time to get it. So I'm a fan of the stage break. So the first one was a little bit longer. I could definitely feel that it was longer as a fan. But if it's going to help them help not save as much fuel, which I still feel like that's probably still going on. But what are your thoughts on that stage break change?
I decided that I liked it. You had to execute in that first stage, or you got behind. We saw some guys get behind and never really recover. Being at the race, sometimes it's hard to keep up with exactly who that was. But Denny Hamlin was on that list. Chase Briscoe. Um, there was a couple more. I can't name them right now for whatever reason. But you can get a speeding penalty in pit road, you're done. Riley Herbst's got like 4 speeding penalties on pit road, and so it makes you have to execute. Makes it kind of more of a team game, particularly early on, and to set it up for the end. I kind of actually liked it being long early. If they're not going to shorten the race down, which I'm not really a fan of doing that either, just because I don't want to pay to go sit up there for 30 minutes. But like if we get to the point where the race is shorter than the drive, like I'm not going. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I actually did like how the stage was set up, and even with the saving, like which I guess I'm a little biased just because the Knoxville kid, but it's kind of cool to watch some of those guys get a chance to run up front. Not just him. You had 78 car of Daniel Dye, who's been in some trouble. Just signed his deal this week, first time ever to go racing, and so it's kind of cool to see some of those guys that you only see drive up to the front, even whether it was saving or not going on. I like that, but. Um, I don't know if you listened to Denny today, but he nailed it on how to fix the cars. And I think I said it yesterday in the truck. Take the spoiler off, they'll be faster. So, and they won't handle, and then they'll be able to pass, and then you won't have to worry about gas anymore. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I actually did like this better than what I like. I thought it was better than Daytona or Atlanta. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good take on that. I like that. So then we get there towards the end, or kind of, so that is big wreck, kind of early on there. I guess you call it. It's kind of middle on there. Blaney, Logano. I mean, you name it. Maybe all
Everybody that was on
piled up.
D-Watt shirt.
Yeah, you're not joking about that. Everybody piled up as I was going for way over there in turn three.
Yeah.
Bubba, block late or somebody just push Ross something, And I've kind of learned is the guy that causes it with the bump always seems to get through it
Yeah.
unscathed, and I don't care for that, but that's just how it works with all the angles of how they wreck, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that that was not Bubba Wallace's fault, and anybody that's posting that it was, that's clickbait garbage. It was not Bubba's fault. He did not throw a late block. It was really kind of a timing deal, and Ross kind of got bumped right as he was getting to Bubba, and it's kind of just bad timing. But hey, it happens, speedway racing, and I felt a little bad for D-Watt as I watched all of his picks next to each other backwards, hitting the fence at the same time. So,
Yeah.
tough day for Penske. Tough day for Penske.
Yeah, it was tough to see. Joey get up on that tow truck and had to tow him out, making that hard left-hander into the garage. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's my pick. What's he doing on the tow truck for? That was tough. But we get bounced back, which was it took a while for the put out the red flag, which took a minute. And as a fan there in the stands, it felt like it took a little bit. You got to get it cleaned
Yeah.
up. So no big deal. But the only thing is that it can't happen more than once with a light there because it's going to get dark. So luckily there wasn't any problem with daylight, but if it happened again, there was something to watch on that. So we're gonna get going again here. We'll kind of jump there a little bit to the end. You got Hocevar, you got Stenhouse Jr., you got all these different names, but you don't always see up front each weekend. And Hocevar, he's getting the push he was needing, and he's on the front row there, and he's able to do some side drafting and whatnot, and gets what he needs to get, and he crosses first on the finish line, gets his first career win there, Casper. So, what is your takeaway? And did you think it'd be today that he would get that win on Sunday?
Yeah, so I mean, he rode the Dente, the best anybody could do it, and I listened to his radio after the first stage for most of the race. I don't know what you're listening to, but one thing that I noticed, just kind of flipping between him and Chase and Larson, and some of those guys that I kind of went to for a few minutes, is his spotter was really hard on him about being sure to drag guys back with the side draft, and I really feel like that's what won in the race. Kind of was a side draft at the end, so he was disciplined. And, I don't know that he, quote unquote, made a move to win the race. I feel like Ricky made a move too early there, turn 3 and 4. It's like, if you want to try to make the move, you're not the leader. You kind of need to wait till the trial. It is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, I expect him to win before now. I thought he was going to win Daytona. This kind of racing is his go-to right now. But they're becoming competitive every week. And I love it. I love seeing somebody with some personality.
Yeah.
I'm a Chase Elliott fan, but Chase Elliott's boring. He doesn't have any personality. So I was glad to see that out there. And, the burnout was pretty sick. I don't know if you've gone back and watched the videos. We left with a little bit of that to go, but out the window and all that, and then hitting the wall out the window and all that nonsense. So, but it was a good time. And I mean, I don't know about you, but like, that's the most exciting. I felt like the whole crowd stayed. And was excited to watch it. And the only time I ever really remember anything close to like Larson, maybe at Bristol winning, just kind of everybody's kind of locked into that. But I don't know. It's cool. And like, I feel like Carson Hocevar is one of those guys that, I'm not going to say he's the next Dale Earnhardt, but he has the potential to be one of the next guys on the list, for the Hall of Fame or whatever. So it's cool to be there for his first win. And, like I said, made the bet, got the money. So got the shirt. Ride the Dente. Ride the Dente. Okay, ride it. Y'all go to Chili's this weekend. Get you a 3 for me. I recommend the burger, chips and salsa, and a Coca-Cola Zero. Wash it down, all right? But be sure to ride the Dente. Tell Chili's we appreciate them.
Yeah, he was riding it there for sure on his victory celebration there. So it sounded like all was okay with the thoughts on NASCAR's opinion on him hanging out the window like that. But that's what he did, and it was good to see him win. I think I'll kind of go first here, and then we'll move on. But I think he will win another race this season. I think he'll get another win. I think it'll be on a mile and a half. That seems to be the track that he runs pretty good on. So, do you think he will win again this year, Casper?
At least one more time. But if I was putting my money down, I'd say that his win total is 3 on the year. Maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe 4.
If the over-under was 3.5, I'd really think about the over.
Okay, there we go. I like that. All right, we will move into picks of last week. I'll start with Casper, and then I'll jump over to mine. Cletus wins Arc at Talladega, finished second. Cletus was close, just didn't quite get it done. The Braves over the Phillies Friday night, that was correct. And then Monday night, the Carolina Hurricanes over Etowah Senators, that was correct. So he got 2 of 3 there, and his NASCAR pick was uh, Carson. So he got the win there with a Hocevar. So there you go. So he got the double there. He got back to, so now we're tied again. So that was Casper's picks, and mine were all wrong. But I will go over them. Lookouts at the Smokies Tuesday. The Smokies got the win. Knicks at the Hawks. The Knicks did not get the win there. The Hawks got the win there, and then the Braves at the Nationals. They win. They lost. So they, you know, all the you know it was a good week, but then they just that didn't work out that night. So and then my NASCAR pick was Joey Logano. So I was like, that was a long shot for me, but he runs
Tough
good at
week.
tough week. So then we're gonna move into picks of this week. I'll get to go first since I got beat. So let's get down here. So we got Tigers at the Braves. So I'm gonna go Tuesday night. Braves are gonna get the win. Got the Hawks at the Knicks Tuesday night. Give me the Knicks to get the win there. And then the Raptors at the Cavs Wednesday night. I want to say the Cavs are going to get the win there. And then my NASCAR pick for my bonus pick is going to be Denny Hamlin to get the win at Texas. I think it's time for him to get another win for him. All right, Casper, we're going to toss it over to you for yours.
I was gonna pick Denny Hamlin, but I picked Chase Elliott for my NASCAR pick. I'm gonna read that first. I
Okay.
doubled up here on the Braves this week. Hopefully, it works out for me. And give me the Braves Wednesday versus the Tigers, and give me the Braves Friday at the Colorado Rockies, which I actually feel like is a loss, but I just put my full body of work and support behind them to go out there and get the win. And then for a little NHL action, give me the Lightning versus the Canadians on Wednesday, 7 p.m.
Okay, there we go. I like it. And the tiebreaker will be the total runs Braves at the Rockies on Saturday night. I want to go 8 is mine. What is yours, Casper?
I'll go with 10.
That's good. That's a good number there on that. One last thought. Oh, I've got 2 last thoughts. One was the cop down there at Talladega, directing traffic. Right, quick. We're gonna dig into this. We were having a very calm conversation, just joking around with the guy, and one of the cars did not stop. So, what did this police officer say there, Casper?
So we were just chilling, like, how's your day? Doing all right? Thank y'all for being here. I always try to be real nice to these police officers that deal with all these drunk race fans, all these races. Just being honest, they have a terrible job. And we were just trying to walk across the street and go buy some stuff. And basically, somebody tried to like stop and then motion the crosswalk across like 4 lanes of moving traffic, and he did not like it. And he was like, he turned around, he was talking to me and Dwat, and he just absolutely whipped it around 10 Hut, and it was like, I direct the traffic, not you. You're gonna get these people out here and get rode by 14 lanes of cars. And he was like, go, I direct the traffic. Go, like that. And it was intense. And there's this poor guy standing there also that was kind of talking to the cop, and he didn't know what to do either. But I mean, he had a valid point. I was trying to explain like there's multiple lanes going that way, and they were only in the very right lanes. Like you can't stop. You got to wait till they come out and block traffic so people don't get run over. Like I was telling D Watt, I'm kind of the one that usually gets in that line over the other side if I need to, and that's how the traffic pattern works. So didn't want anybody to get hurt. But yeah, he's probably having a long weekend at Dega. He said something about wishing he was drinking beer and looking for a urinal, if I remember correct. So hate that for him, but yeah, that was an interesting moment.
And my other one is for Dan. Today's his birthday, so happy birthday, Dan. You're getting old, but hey, you made another year, so happy birthday, Dan. All right, what you got there, Casper?
My one more thing is going to be Talladega Super Speedway. Get some better signs for the parking. Somehow I got ripped for $25 for parking yesterday. We have never paid to park there before. They basically don't have signs to the free parking now, I guess. You just kind of got to figure it out. I did not look at the parking map. I did not. I'll be honest. I did not. But me and D will end up having to park kind of close, which it's fine. But like we're gonna walk all the ways across the street anyway, so we really don't care. And then don't know. It kind of irritated me when we got there, and it was like there was no option but to pay. The guy next to us also didn't want to be there, and she was like, "I bet $25." And then they painted on my car, so that also made me mad. But that's it. That's my one last thing.
Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard when they did the windshield paint there. Never seen that before at any event I've
Yeah,
been to.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to shut it down. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for being tuned in there on the audio or the video. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can follow us on Facebook. That's where I put all the pictures and clips out. So check us out on there. If you got any fan mail, you can put it in the comments below there on YouTube or the Spotify. Thanks for coming on, Casper.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a good time. Appreciate you letting me have a good party.
Oh yeah, we will see everybody on the show next Monday night. With that being said, I'll say see you in the next one.